What is going on, guys? I'm going to be doing a new tutorial. It's going to be about customizing the WordPress admin, this screen right here, and you can get to this screen if on your WordPress site by doing /admin /WordPress admin or WordPress wp-login.php. Any of those will work. So yeah, let's get started. So basically, the basic part of customizing this page, you want to switch out this WordPress logo. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. And you can customize anything else on this page too with CSS. So let's get into it. So in your theme, I'm using Bones, by the way, which is really good. I highly recommend it. It's by Themable, so go to themable.com/bones. It's a really good starter theme. So yeah, I've been using it for a while now. It's pretty bare bones, it's easy, and yeah, I definitely recommend it. So, alright, onward, we are going to, the way it's set up is not set up like most themes, but I will try to guide you guys along as best as I can. So basically, all themes have a functions.php file, and that's basically where we're going to be doing most of our work. So in Bones, there is this little section right here that says require once library/admin.php, and this is what turns on the back end. So I will show you what I'm talking about right now. So if we go into library and then admin.php, so this is what I'm talking about. This code in this admin page could be on this functions page. It doesn't really matter. The only reason that he put it on the admin.php is just to separate the logic and just keep it more organized, which I think is a good idea. So if you guys aren't doing this, I would definitely recommend, you can always come down to the bottom of your file and just do, just put a comment and then add the PHP below it, and that would be fine. It's just I think it's better to keep your logic separate. So yeah, so this is in the admin.php. So in the PHP, this is the page we're going to be working on. So first things first. These basically, you guys can copy this line for line, and I'll just kind of explain what it's doing, and so it'll make more sense to you if this looks like gibberish. So basically, let's just go over this first one. ROL login CSS. You can call this function whatever you want. It really doesn't matter. ROL is for the client I'm doing, so that's just why it's ROL. And what this is doing is it's queuing a CSS file. So this is the right way to do it in WordPress, just in queuing styles and scripts, so WordPress knows about them. So basically the parameters go the name. This is just, you can name it whatever you want. I just named it the same thing as the function, whatever's fine. And then the second parameter is going to be the path of the CSS file. So in this case, I'm using get template directory URI, which is getting, this makes it so it's dynamic. So if I switch this site to a different URL, I wouldn't want to have, like, something like www.something.com/library. You wouldn't want that, because what happens if the website changes its URL? Your site just broke. So what you want to do is use this this function get template directory URI, and right here I'll show you what it's pulling. Right, so at the very top you can see rol.paradoxsites.com. Pretty much gives the directory of the theme, which is exactly what we want. So that is one of the best ways to do it, in my opinion. Or instead of enqueuing a style, you can, just for instance, I'll show you something. We can do function, rol, I'll just do the same thing, CSS. And then in here we can do, we can close the PHP tags, open it up again, and inside here we can do style tags, and this is just pretty much like doing it inline. It's not, you're not including another file, but this means all your styles are on this page, and I think that's kind of unorganized, and I don't think that's a good way of doing it. But in the WordPress documentation, they show you to do it that way. So go ahead and do that if it makes more sense to you guys. This one is just easier for me, and it came with bones, so I just kind of worked with it, and that's it. So hope that makes sense. The second part is this ROL login URL, and this changes. Let me just comment this out real quick, and I'll show you guys what it's doing. And yeah, hold on a second. And there we go. All right. So what that's doing is this WordPress logo right here is linking to WordPress.org, which in most cases you wouldn't want it to do that. You want it to probably link to your home site. You want it to link back. So if a client's here, you don't want them to click this and go to WordPress and be like, oh my gosh, what just happened? So the code that I just commented out does that. This function ROL login URL returns the home URL. And basically we're creating all of these functions. I'll tell you in a second, but basically it's just returning home. Just accept that for right now. This function right here is ROL login title, and this is changing the alt tag in the logo to your site's name. So in this case it's River of Life Church. And that's dynamic, so that will change every time you change it in the back end. So that's pretty cool. And this is where it is all happening pretty much. So it's adding an action. These are called hooks right here. You can add actions or filters to WordPress, and it basically it's just a hook is somewhere you can put something else. So like this is a place on the page, on the login page, where we can insert a hook, and we're inserting. So basically that first parameter is going to be where you want to put the function or whatever you're inserting. The second parameter is what are you inserting. In this case, it's ROL login CSS. That's our first function right here. And just keep it at 10 is the default. You really don't need this in general. This is just kind of like where it is on the page, I believe. Pretty sure it's just the weight. So if it's higher on the page, lower on the page. And this right here, the login header URL. These two I got straight out of the documentation. I copied and pasted, and that is this right here. So codex.wordpress.org, customizing the login form. I'll also post this this page in the description, but this is pretty much all you need to know about it. Pretty much teaches you how to do it. So yeah, this is exactly where I got it. So yeah, let's just get into it now. Basically, once you have all this stuff set up already, you want to get this CSS file, which I already have made, and that's in library and CSS, and then login CSS. So this is where it's going to be. So now we can change the logo. So let's do that right now. So basically, we want to target the login div with an ID of login, H1 and the A. That's what we want to target. So we're going to do login H1A, and let's just put a border around it to make sure we're working with the right thing. So yeah, you can see that the border is now around this this login. So what we need to do is we need to give it a new background. So let's do background URL. We're going to do mine is in talk about images. This is just going to be your image path. So mine's I already have my image made, and I will tell you how big it is right now. So login dash logo, and it's 310 by 69. So we're going to do width 310 pixels by height 69, and let's just see what we got so far. Let's see if that works. Great. Okay. That worked. So now you can see we got our logo. It's linking back to the home page, and it's got the title of the blog. So it's pretty awesome. There's plugins that do this, but I just find them to be kind of useless just because I like doing it, I don't know, from the back end. I'd rather control it myself than have plugins. I just kind of like to have as least amount of plugins as possible. I think that's a good standard. I just think it's better not to have a ton of plugins weighing down your site. So yeah, just for good measure, I'm going to do text indent 99, overflow hidden, and that means if there's any text in the A tag, let's keep the overflow hidden, and let's make that text -9999 pixels away from the image, or away from that, away from it. We're also going to do display block, and I can also tell that it's not really aligned. So hold on, let me try to fix that. And the reason it's not, so you can see it right there. The reason it's not aligned is because this form has margin left of 8 pixels. So that's what we're going to do on our this A tag right here. We're just going to do margin left. Let's do that, margin left 8 pixels. So there we go. Now it's centered. So there you go. Looks a lot better. So that's pretty good. Looks pretty good. You can style any of the stuff in here if you really wanted to. If you, for instance, if you wanted to get rid of lost your password, so none of your clients can touch that, you can always just do. So you can do P with an ID of nav. So basically, you can just do login and then P with an ID of nav. And let's just do a display none on that. And that didn't work for some reason. Hold on a second. Let's just do a display none, and let's put an important on that. I'm sure that'll fix it. And it didn't. Huh, well that's interesting. Another thing you can do in Firefox, if you guys didn't know this, you can right-click it and do copy CSS path for an exact path. I feel like my path's wrong or something. Yeah, hold on. Let me get the path of the A, actually. CSS path. So that's pretty cool. It gives you your whole, the whole path for it. All right, and there you go. Got rid of it. I'm not sure why that wasn't working, but yeah, you can keep editing this. You can mess with it, and also there's ways to do instead of this actual page. This WP page, there's ways to also make another page, not customizing this page, but we can actually create another page that we can have our own login form, and we can do a whole bunch of stuff with. So I might do another tutorial on that, but this is just kind of the basics of how that works. So yeah, I hope this helped some of you guys out. If you guys have any questions, I'll put this link of the documentation in the description. I'll also put my Twitter if you guys have any questions. So yeah, thanks for watching.